So the Bionicle gift with purchase series doesn't work. Not as a theme, anyway. Here's the thing, I think as a novelty, every once in a while getting a set or two out of something like this is actually pretty fantastic and a good nod to the Bionicle community, but it's definitely not going to satisfy everybody. And I have to ask myself, if LEGO was going to make a theme out of this, what would it look like and what would its future look like? How would these products be packaged? If I woke up tomorrow and I saw that LEGO just decided to make all of the other 5 Toa Mata sets, would they be sold individually? Would they be sold with a Matoran to go with them? Would they be sold all together in one? And how exactly do those sell? Because we know colors like brown, for example, don't sell quite as fast as colors like green or blue or red, obviously. And so there's definitely going to be some sets that would warm shelves for longer. Would they even be available on shelves? No, I have a proposal as to what I think could work a little bit better. Because as I have talked about in the past in other videos, the building process, the building experience of these 6 Toa sets would be very similar. Subtle differences here and there depending on which piece is being reflected through these LEGO pieces, but similar at the end of the day. And although I think it works reasonably well for the Toa Mata in the sense that this is like 30 some odd pieces, it doesn't take very long to assemble, and so having parts involved that are the same across the board doesn't really bother me. But when you've got to build up an arm or a leg, and that leg or arm is 10 pieces or more, it can start to get a little bit redundant when you've got to do it 12 times in a row, right? So rather, my proposal is this. LEGO, for a long time, in fact, for well over a decade, has had what they call their custom minifigure series. And what if we had something very similar, but for the Bionicle gift with purchase series? And it was a website exclusive or maybe available in LEGO stores as well. The idea is that you would go to this website and you would click on what I would call, at the very least, the custom Matoran series. Something like this. You get 1 Matoran each. I just showed 2 here because we have access to both of these masks in studio. But the point of this is pretty simple. You go onto the website, you click buy, you add it to your cart, it arrives. It either is shipped to you and you pay for shipping if you're below that $35 threshold, at least here in the US, or you go to, like I said, a LEGO store and maybe they stock a handful of these as well, and you can buy as many as you want. I would like to see them around the $5 range, very similar to the custom minifigure series as well, and because each of these sets at the end of the day contains about 39 to 40-ish pieces. I would even be so bold as to include maybe an accessory to go with them as well. Maybe you want them to wear a hat. Embrace the silliness of the fact that these are Matoran at the end of the day. And, you know, when we played the Matanui online game, they weren't always serious. Sometimes they were dancing, sometimes they were playing the xylophone, and I think that that's a really fun little idea as well. So this actually kind of works in a couple of ways. First off, these Matoran would come with a sticker sheet with 12 stickers. Those stickers would be clear backed, and they would be each of the original 12 Mata and Turaga style masks, obviously stylized in this new form, and colored in a way that is roughly neutral on the surface. Or there is a possibility too that I could see LEGO even implementing a little click box on their website that says, you know, pick a color, right? You get to pick between red, black, brown, green, white, blue, some other color, maybe random, right? And that way, you choose one of the colors, you choose what village they belong to, and then LEGO could color the sticker sheet accordingly. So that although maybe the purple or the yellow here is randomized, the black or the red is not, and then the sticker sheet could match that undertone, right? Maybe that's a little bit odd because there's still a little bit of stuff to control for there, and it does at the end of the day mean multiple sticker sheets, more things that could go wrong, sure. But at the end of the day, if you were to buy one of these for $5, $6, or whatever the case may be, you get to use one of these stickers and you get to save 11 more. If you bought 2 of them, you have 22 sitting around just available for you to use at any given time. And so if I own other parts, if I collect other Legos, if I have a drawer full of Lego pieces, I could go out of my way and finally build that Onua gift with purchase set if I wanted to, because I have those other masks in my collection. I believe this is a great way to facilitate, like I said, the fans, because yes, you get that little bit of novelty of opening a pack and not knowing what you're going to get, which could also lead to some content online as well, which can be free marketing for LEGO too, right? Opening booster packs, essentially, but for these Matoran. And if you want something coveted in these sets, if you want something that could be sought after, maybe the discs have an exclusive print on them. So that way you know that the discs are going to be randomized 100% of the time, and you could try to chase all 6 or maybe even 12 discs. But at the end of the day, they're not really the thing I think most people are buying these for. The discs are an added bonus, the mask stickers, whatever you want to call those, that's really, I think, what people would be chasing the most. It's just an idea, of course, and it is an idea that I've had for a long time, though this is the first time I've really implemented it to the form of system to these McDonald's Matorans type builds, because obviously we got the original McDonald's Matoran all the way back in 2001. And personally, something I think Lego could do that would be perfect would be to bring something like this back, specialized pieces and all. Obviously, that's a much heavier investment than what I had just shown on screen, because with a handful of exceptions, like some recolors for feet pieces here, we could use some other colors that Lego didn't use even in the early 2000s, like dark red, for example. We don't really have any new pieces here. It's strictly recolors and stickers that are new. No new molds, right? Yes, the build in this case is also redundant, but at the very least, this is 40 some odd pieces, not 100, 150, or 200. And this is something that you could build while watching a video or consuming some other content. This is essentially just a background build. It is filler at the end of the day. Still really cool and definitely expressive little builds. But if we were to take a look at something like the McDonald's Matoran, what I think Lego would do with something like this today is a similar concept. Rather than having both types of hands here, I would honestly just remove the disc throwing hand and include two of this type. Modify this type, though, to have an axle connection here. And what's beautiful about this is that Lego still makes every color that the McDonald's Matoran bodies and limbs were produced in. So they still make red, still make lime, tan, black, white, medium blue. Did I forget any? I don't know. Point being is none of these colors are retired, so those parts would be backwards compatible. The foot piece would essentially just be a remold, right? Just bring the foot out of retirement. Or if they wanted to design a new foot, I'm totally for that as well. The body also would be a remold. Where I think they could also change things up would be the head on this, including a different connection on the back, because I don't propose these coming with discs. That helps to reduce the cost, obviously, and reduces or removes at least one of the molds that would need to be made for these, right? So maybe instead of having this little catch back here, could have an axle that sticks up from the top. And so when you've got a character wearing a mask, you could have an accessory that goes on the top of it, like a hat or a candle or whatever, something like we've seen in the Motonui online games. And then that way, when Lego wants to make their gift with purchase sets, their larger form sets, they can focus on like maybe scenes from Bionicle's canon, right? Or even just doing their own thing, like I did with the board game diorama sets. The word board game just slipped my mind for a minute. So I like the concept of just kind of going out of your way, but just having a set like a Onua versus Liwa, for example, could be a lot of fun too. It's a nice nod to those original sets. It gives you two more of those Toa, and then trickling down those Toa builds over time, I think, is a more effective thing that they could do that would work out a little bit better. So just an idea. I do not think that this is something that they would do, just because although I think it would still be just as viable, this is a much heavier investment, especially if they brought back all of the original mask molds. People would love it for sure. 100%. People would definitely buy it. I can't guarantee that everybody would buy it, and I cannot guarantee that it would have high sales volumes. But I think both cases, that McDonald's Matoran or these brick-built Matoran, would both sell roughly equally as well as each other. This is just much safer for Lego. No real investment here outside of recoloring a handful of pieces. A lot of investment with this, if we consider that molds can cost upwards of even $100,000 in some cases, right? So with that said, that's basically my proposal for the video. It's very simple. I don't necessarily think it's something that Lego would do, but man, if I went to a Lego store right now and I saw that they had something like this for sale on shelves, the system brick Matoran, I know I'd buy one. If I went to, I don't want to say a Dollar Tree because that's $1, but somewhere, a Dollar General or something that had just a couple of bucks, right? And saw something like this on shelves, I'd buy it. Again, 100% polybag style versions of these. I love the idea. That's all I can say. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It does help the channel out. And of course, you can always find links for everything, Discord, Instagram, and Patreon, all of which are in the description below. I'm running out of breath here. Of course, you can also tell me your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? And at the very least, I think it would sell. I can't say how well, but it doesn't hurt. I don't think it makes Lego go bankrupt. So just an idea. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you all in the next one. Take care.